Oh, it's another day here at the Comeback Team Studios, and this is your host, Beck Lover. And I'm emotionally kind of out of it. Okay? I just watched something. I thought it was fake. I literally thought it was fake. I'm just jumping right into it right now. There's so much going on. I have breaking news from a speech I never thought I would ever hear come out of a president's mouth. For those of you that understand that there's really no difference between Republican and Democrat as far as the politicians and the leaders and the amount of corruption and everything that has seeped into American society. A lot of our fellow Americans have been fighting each other because of these people, gaslighting both sides, as they have been, in my opinion, probably the most corrupt people in our nation, leading our people. I don't hold my breath and hope or put my faith or trust in anyone except God. However, I said until we see that Trump means business, we have to hold the line. This is not a time to, relax. We're not out of the woods yet. But I just heard something so amazing. I'm going to play it for you right now. This is off of Forbes. Forbes breaking news. I could not believe it. It literally made me want to cry. I thought it was AI. I literally thought it was AI. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I still don't believe. So let me play the clip. And I'm going to hold back my tears because I hope it's real. What the hell happened here, man? Maybe it's not. They took it down already.
From Washington, corruption, once and for all, and corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible. Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption. And there are plenty of them. Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every Inspector General's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee, so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on. and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
I still don't know the details of all this, man. I didn't understand the date there. I thought it was AI. It got me in tears, bro. What else you want to know? It's got me in tears, because if he could pull this off, they better protect this man at all cost, man. This is on another level, folks. Okay? Where I was holding my breath. You know, I don't 100% trust this guy. You know, I'm not believing in these conspiracies with the Q letter and all that stuff. But it's becoming kind of hard not to believe it. I mean, think about it, man. He even said he's going to push for term limits, man. These people that have been corrupt, these agencies, all this, man, is this why Mark Zuckerberg apologized? I mean, did he went down? Like, I really think Elon Musk is Q, bro. I had a discussion with one of my cousins, shout out to Viggs, and I've kind of made fun of that, you know, conspiracy, and maybe it's a psyop, and I didn't trust it 100%. I'm really starting to think that Elon Musk might be Q, as crazy as that sounds, man. And today it was almost like a message like, yo, everything that you've dreamed of, ending corruption, auditing these people that we gave our trust to, that took our nation to war after war after war. And we were taught, well, that's just the way the world is, and that's the way it's always going to be. No, it doesn't have to be like this. We are not out of the woods yet. If he actually does what he says in this speech, we actually might have a shot at world peace, literally. Now, that's kind of scary in the biblical aspect. If you know, you know. But, yes, it's real. New Britain, Paulie, it is real. You can go to Forbes Breaking News. I swear to God, I saw it on my friend's page. I didn't believe it, man. I was like, this AI is amazing. I could not believe what I was hearing. That it literally brought me to tears. I literally, like, go play this episode back, and you're gonna, like, it brought me to tears, and I had already heard it. Now imagine, I know that I'm taking, you know, this is not a normal episode for me. I had the episode set up already, and right before I was about to come on and just cover the news and all this, I see this last second, and I'm like, and it just startled me. That's what they're saying. They're saying, if then it's from 2023, then I'm not. Then I have no hope, man. Then why did? Unless everything that happened was to bring out all the corruption, so there would be no denying it. And now he's gonna honor what he said back then, because that's what I was confused on. It says 2023. Well, none of that happened. So now I'm feeling a little bit different. Well, in any event, you just heard this speech, man. If he can deliver that, we might have a shot here. Damn, this is old. This is old. Man, that's the problem with social media. See, I just made a fool of myself. I'm sitting here thinking he just said this, and I got all emotional and fucking crazy, bro. It's live. We're live. I feel like an idiot. But I guess... But still, I mean, he said this back then, right? And 2023 was only a year ago. Now, if he honors these promises, so I guess, I don't know, I guess we could be happy. I don't remember seeing this speech, so I'm actually not the one leading right now, folks. But if he keeps his promise to that, what he just said there, then, like, I mean, that shit brought me to tears, bro, because that's exactly what's wrong with the country. Everything he mentioned, every last thing on that checklist. Let's see. Otherwise, it was the greatest psyop in the history of psyops to calm any opposition that may have arisen. There's no middle here. I said this yesterday's episode, so all right. I'm going to lay off. Now, what we cannot afford is examples of what I'm about to show you. Because this is what they're trying to portray this movement as. A bunch of white boys that are racist, that, he's racist and it's about white supremacy and et cetera, et cetera. But when you have things like this happening, now again, I don't know the circumstances of this. I've seen people posting these types of videos. Let's play it and you'll see what I'm talking about.
This is funny to watch. One more period. One more time.
Now, for those of you listening to the episode, it's a guy wearing a red jersey with a Make America Great Again hat. Pretty decently stocked. The woman he's opposing is African American. He's in her face like, hit me, I'm going to hit. Like, he's basically threatening her. And I don't know. I think she could take him, to be honest with you. But this is the image they're trying to paint right now. And we can't have agitators doing this to try to rip the country apart. We can't stoop to what they did on the left side. Riots, people lost their lives, hatred, and then trying to gaslight. We got to be better than that. Yeah, we can't afford that. Democrats' election losses prove how much people hate inflation. And I think that definitely did play a big impact in this election. Okay, can I get this article again? No, I can't. Forbes, FBI. There we go. No, back to homepage. Lost the article. Man, oh man. And these ad blockers do not work sometimes. In any event, China was hacking something. What else is new? Former New York City Mayor Giuliani appears in court after missing deadline to surrender assets. He has a federal judgment. Surrender valuables as a part of his $148 million defamation judgment. We all saw him driving in that Mercedes they were trying to repossess from him. Yeah, I feel like an idiot right now, man. After watching that video and then going through all that, and I am tired, man. These last 3-4 days, I haven't slept more than 4 hours, man. Putin congratulates Trump, says he's ready to engage in dialogue. That would be some good news. Russia steps up mass drone attacks and bid to overwhelm Ukrainian defenses. A lot of last licks getting in there before Trump gets in. I saw an article that Hamas also is saying, we want to end the war. The minute they heard Trump was elected, they declare, that they want to end it. I mean, there's a lot of movement. The guy's not even in office yet. And Latino, I'm really feeling that it is. That's why I've never trusted the Q people and the this and the that. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. You guys got some far-fetched fantasies. So when I saw this, I'm thinking it's from today. And I'm like, holy shit, like, this might actually happen. I didn't even know this thing, he even said this 2 years ago. So, here I am. Emotional as hell for this country. But praying for him, that should show you the level of frustration, sadness for those of us that have been awake, that don't care about Republican or Democrat at all, who understand how bad things have gotten and how corrupt this entire shit is, that we've felt so fucking hopeless all these years watching this country being used, our men and women in the military being sent to wars that do not benefit America at all, to the erosion of everything, our freedom, the future, our kids' future, that my ass could see a video from 2 years ago and it brings me to tears because I'm thinking I'm seeing it today after Trump is the president-elect. That's how sad and hopeless so many of us has felt as Americans to see this amazing nation dwindled away, not in the last 4 years, not in the last 8, not in the last 12, guys and girls. You got to be smart. You know this. It's been going on for decades. We didn't get here overnight. As much as I can't stand Biden and that whole regime, it's not them. They were the cherry on the sundae of the end of this corruption. It's been going on, and it's been on both parties, man. Both were more warmongers. Both sides for decades. So to me, it's like this whole little, whatever the hell we're going to call this episode, to me, shows me just how much I'm still worried about our country, and that today everyone said it. Yesterday, there has been like, except for extreme left, there's been like a, I feel like I can breathe. But I feel like that's a dangerous move. It's too early to let our guards down. We must hold Trump and his entire Avengers team of Elon Musk and this guy and that guy and RFK. We must hold them accountable. And everything he said in that video, if he actually said that 2 years ago, that's what we want. That's what we voted for. And it wouldn't matter if it was Donald Trump sitting there or Kamala Harris. If that's what they were going to fight for, that's who would have my vote. I wouldn't care if they were black or white, gay or straight, Christian or Muslim, Hindu, Bangladeshi American. I don't give a shit. Whoever could pull off what he is saying he was going to do, what needs to be done, that is who we voted for. The American people don't give a flying fuck who sits in that Oval Office, as long as there is the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the American dream, freedom, and all people treated the same. That's really all I think we all want. So again, I want to apologize. I thought that video was from today. I didn't realize how much emotion I had in me, man. So forgive me. And let's carry on. The IDF distanced itself from no return remarks about North Gaza evacuees. The Israeli army has distanced itself from comments made by Brigadier General that ground forces are getting closer to the complete evacuation of northern Gaza Strip and residents will not be allowed to return home, which is what I said, which is if they do not allow these refugees to return home, then what can they say to the rest of the world for their actions? You went in to root out Hamas, or you went in there to ethnically cleanse the little pieces of land you left to the Palestinian people? Like, there's no middle here. So that's what I said. If you go back to many episodes, I said, if they do not allow the refugees to return after they defeat Hamas, then you know that their real intention was never to take out Hamas and be the good guys, but it was to ethnically cleanse those people. And just so you know, we're watching. The world is watching Israel. We're watching. Are you going to let these people return home to the little pieces of scraps you gave them? Or how do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered to the world? All people have the right to exist, to live in peace and security. And I am praying that when this guy gets in office, there's a final solution for this entire mess that has gone on for too long. Blobs that closed Australian beaches were made of poop, weed, and meth. Could you imagine you're swimming, all of a sudden, like, it smells like shit. Next thing you're like, hey, man, I feel kind of high. Well, thousands of mysterious blobs that washed ashore and shut down several beaches in Sydney, Australia, ended up being made of poop, marijuana, and methamphetamines. The black balls washed up on Coogee Beach last month and were believed to be made up of tar. However, after testing was conducted, it was determined the balls consisted of cooking oils, traces of weed, meth, fossil fuel, soap scum. Scientists aren't certain where the blobs came from. It's definitely not from an oil spill. Speaking of other spills, this one was nuclear, if you remember back in the day. Robot removes first bit of Fukushima's nuclear fuel debris. Just 880 tons more to go. A robot has delved into the radioactive ruins of Fukushima to retrieve a tiny chunk of spent nuclear fuel. It's the first time solid fuel debris has been removed from the plant, but they've still got a hell of a long way to go, 880 tons of the stuff to be precise. So, still, how many years after that tsunami? I had just landed in Frankfurt, Germany. I was tired. It was a long flight when this tsunami happened in Japan. And I remember the TV just being on, and it's in German. I'm not, I don't speak German. Achtung! And I'm there, and the tsunami of, that crazy tsunami that, Japan had, at that time. And I thought it was a movie, because that was crazy. That was like one of my worst nightmares would be to be caught in a tsunami. The CDC is expanding bird flu testing recommendations to dairy farm workers. So we're not out of the woods with a lot of this stuff, guys and girls. I can't believe that I watched a 2-year-old video and was brought to tears. I feel like an idiot. I like to go regroup. I gave you my word months ago that I would broadcast almost every single day, keep you in the know. Check out all the other content. To all of you new subscribers, thank you and welcome to my channel. I'm putting up tons of content. Make sure you follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram. I'm streaming. I'm on Kick. So sometimes you're watching the YouTube, but I might be doing something else somewhere else. And I thank you for your support. I pray that God helps us. I pray that everything Donald Trump said in that video, I don't care if it was 10 years ago, I told you on yesterday's episode, I'm giving him 60 days for the JFK files. Uncensored. And why would he use the word cleansing with Joe Rogan? I want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear no more talk. I want him protected till he gets into office. I want to see some change. Otherwise, we all were psyoped. We let the left do their thing for 4 years. We saw how that worked. He's going to get his domination, Senate, Congress, Supreme Court. There's no excuses. It's all or nothing. We fix it once and for all, or we all go down together, left and right. And I know that sounds so crazy. That are people on the left like, what's this guy talking about? Why the fuck? You're late to the party. You've been psyoped. You've been preconditioned. You've been programmed. I'm someone that has never given a shit about Republican or Democrat, as far as me believing that they're different. Ideally, they're supposed to be. This is bigger than that. This is for the whole world. It's not just about America here. This is for the whole world. So stay tuned. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep Waters, K Young, all the rest of you, Scotty, my usual suspects. This is Beck Lover, and you're watching the Interesting Times podcast right here on the Beck Lover podcast. Beck Lover.